Hello and welcome to our last week in Bible 355, Introduction to Biblical Interpretation. I'm just going to give you a couple more tips here as we're in the final stretch. First off, really this week is a little bit of reflection on application, but also just a chance to summarize the things that we've experienced in this class. And really, you're going to need to spend a lot of the final week putting together your final assignment, which is really just a collection of all of the skills and resources that we have taken up in this class. So for your final assignment, be sure to review the details of each skill that we've learned. Go back and look at the different week's assignments that are relevant for this assignment and look at the comments. I strongly recommend that you look at the comments that I provided. That's a mistake that I've seen some students make in previous classes, is that they repeat the same errors that they had on prior assignments and really missed out on some valuable points they could have made up for on this assignment. Now, the assignment as listed in the syllabus says that you can, that they want you to do it on Philippians 4, 21 through 23, and you certainly can do that. But I would like to open up another opportunity for you, as I think that isn't necessarily the most ideal passage. It's fine, but I think that Philippians 4, 10 through 14 could be a better passage for this assignment. So it's up to you. You can choose which one you like more, but I think Philippians 4, 10 through 14 might be more beneficial for you. Now for the assignment, once again, just like in every assignment, I'd suggest that you have an introduction and a conclusion. And then in the middle, you need to work through all the different sections. The first section is going to be analyzing the sentences and paragraphs. You're going to need to review the technical form. And if you go back to the example exegesis that's available in the class, you should note this very carefully. I know this isn't the easiest thing for many of us. We haven't done this in a long time, but look at this form. It should look something like this. It shouldn't be just a bunch of paragraphs where you explain yourself. It should look like the text with lines underneath it and connecting them vertically. And right here, if you notice, it's a subject, subject, verb, object. So you know this. And that's continued for every line where there is the primary subject, verb, and object. And the subjects are lined up vertically, the verbs are lined up vertically, and the objects are. And then the supporting words go underneath and explain how those are related. Furthermore, there's some vertical connections that show the relationship. So your assignment should look like this. If you need to, if you can do it in Word, great. If you want to get out a piece of paper and draw this and scan it or take a picture of it and then insert an image into your assignment, that's fine too. Don't get caught up on the technology, but it should look something like this. After you're done with that, you're going to need to do a word study. Provide a brief explanation. Why did you choose the words that you did? And I think probably 3 to 5 words would be sufficient for an assignment like this, but do them in depth. And make sure that you provide the underlying reference for the Greek. If you look back at our sample exegesis, here is what you'd find. This is a good example. After saying these are the words that I chose, say what it is. Brethren was one example. I might capitalize that since that's the beginning of a sentence. But brethren is a word. Then it says, here's the Greek word adelphos, or down here, orge. That's written in Greek. That's fine. And you would then cite the reference to Strong's, or whatever lexicon you're using. Then talk about the range of meaning. What are some of the ranges of meaning? It can mean brother in a literal, familial sense. Or in this other Gingrich resource, it says it can refer to a group of believers. So you have that, and then tie it back into the actual passage that we're interpreting. So in our instance, Philippians, what does this have to do with Paul and what he's trying to say? Now that we know this word a little bit better, how does that help our interpretation? So your word study should include all of that. Then look at the sociological and historical context. For instance, if you're saying that Paul wrote this, reference where you found that in the Bible. What verse was that? Or if you're saying something about the sociology or the setting that is written for prison, write the verse, or maybe even cite a commentary, a scholarly resource there. Then for the genre, a great resource to use, one that makes most sense, is our textbook. That's where we had our genre assignment, and you may as well bring that up and cite that and tell us more about how that influences your interpretation. Then the last real main part is applying the insights that you've gained to a ministry situation. And I would like you to do a actual situation that maybe you've experienced rather than some hypothetical advice for someone. Think back, and what does the passage that we're studying have to do with something that you experienced? And how does that passage make sense of your own experience and how that might be applied now that you understand it a little bit better? Write a summary and then a conclusion, and then that's about it. This class has been a lot of fun. I know it's very challenging, but I applaud all of you for sticking with it. And I hope that it is a blessing for the next steps in your education in your life. Thanks.